titanium cup, folding handle. I've got Snickers flavored coffee. It has an igniter in there. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of Whatever Wednesday. If you guys are new to this series, this is a midweek upload on Wednesdays that I dubbed Whatever Wednesdays. Basically, I'm going to be filming whatever and uploading it and sharing it with you guys on a Wednesday. So today's episode, I'm out in the van traveling again, and I want to talk about a new product that I recently received for making coffee while out hiking or overlanding or just regular camping or even home use. So let's dive into this bag and check it out. Alright, so let's dive into this canvas bag that is supplied with this kit. And while I'm doing this, I'll mention the reason why I got this was to really simplify my hiking kit for making coffee and something that's actually a multi-use item. So this is from Valtcan. I found this on Amazon.ca. It is a titanium cup, folding handle. It comes with a nice lid, and it does have a little finger holder there, a little tab to lift the lid off, which is nice because these do get fairly hot. But the important stuff is inside. So it has this filter holder, which is universal, which we're going to talk about this in a little bit. And yes, I am going to make coffee with this. And then it comes with the actual coffee filter itself. It is still a little bit wet because I did just recently make coffee with it and did not let it dry out. But this is a titanium mesh filter, titanium body, that drops inside of this filter holder. And the filter holder just goes on top of the cup, and you fill the filter holder with coffee grounds and then do a pour through method of your coffee, and then you can lift it off and enjoy your coffee in your cup. So let's get all this stuff set aside, go over a little bit of specs here, and then we'll start brewing a coffee and show you exactly how this works and why it's multi-use. Alright everybody, to make this a little more simplified, I have my phone open to the actual Amazon listing. And I'll go over some of the specs right now. So this is from Valtcan, as I already mentioned. It is $84 Canadian. That's everything: the bag, the cup, the lid, the filter holder, which is really important because there are other brands on Amazon that are making a filter holder and a filter. Some of them are selling them together as a pair. Some of them are selling them separately, which is really useless if you don't have the filter holder, in my opinion, because how are you going to get that to stay on top of a cup? I don't know. So just be mindful of that. The specs on this right now, let me dive into this. So this cup is a 600 milliliter cup. It does have gradations on the inside showing you from 500 mil to 250. So there's two little markings inside and outside of the cup to show you height, so if you are using it for measuring. It is titanium, so everything here is titanium, including the lid, the handle, the cup, the holder, the titanium mesh, the filter. Everything is titanium, which is really important because it's not going to rust. It's not going to leach flavors. So if you do make hot chocolate in there and then you make tea, there's not going to be any leaching of flavors. If you cook ramen noodles in here or do seafood soup or whatever, it's not going to make your coffee taste like seafood because titanium is antimicrobial, which is very, very nice. And like I said, it's not going to tarnish, it's not going to rust. Super easy to clean. You can leave it outside. You can have it in a salty environment like at the ocean, like where I'm at today. Leave it out in the ocean, spray, it's not going to rust. Really, really awesome material and product. The cup holds 600 milliliters, which is 20 fluid ounces. I'm just going to run down through this so I can read everything here. The total weight of everything it's saying is 137.4 grams, which is also 4.85 ounces. And that is the filter. I believe that's everything. That's the only weight that it's showing me right there. The dimensions is 5 inches tall. So they're talking about the cup. 5 inches tall with the lid, which is 3.8 inches in diameter. So the top is actually a little narrower than the bottom. So it kind of has like one of those like carafes, like the little mocha pot kind of carafe style cups where the base is wider, so it's actually touching the heat surface and getting more heat, and then it tapers up to more of like a pouring spout. And there is actually a little indent on this cup to pour if you want to pour it out. That is really all it has for weight, size. There's not a lot on this description. There are a few reviews on here. Everyone likes it, and obviously I love it. So that side of the questions of what's the size, the weight, and all that stuff out of there. Let's go through making a cup of coffee with this very simply here in the van. This is Whatever Wednesday, so it's not just product based. It's going to be everything, whatever I'm doing. And realistically, what I'm doing right now is drinking a coffee before I go for a hike. So let's get all the stuff out and brew up a coffee. All right, so let's come into the top drawer here. If you guys have been watching the channel for any period of time, this probably looks a little bit more cleaner and organized. So I've got mayo up here, I've got ketchup, I've got little packs of soy sauce and coffee creamers. I'm going to grab 2 of these for this coffee, and we're going to use a propane butane camp stove to make our water hot. So we'll get that out as well, and we're going to use a kettle, so we'll need a spoon, and that's basically it out of that drawer. Coming down to this drawer I redid as well, but that's not what I need right now. I need this. Okay, so I've got Snickers flavored coffee. I've also got a brick of espresso. Espresso will work in this screen, but it will clog it really quickly. And let's face it, we're not going to make espresso by doing a pour over, so that's definitely not going to be used right now. So I think we're just going to go with the Snickers coffee. Get that out, and we need some water. Alright, so for the water portion, I've actually got my large water jug here, which needs to be dumped out, cleaned, rinsed, and then refilled. So I'm going to try and empty this right now. It is currently charging on my little Nightcore battery pack here, so I'll just leave that plugged in. And I'm going to measure, I'm going to go in between the 250 and the 500 line. Just get some water in here. So this thing's great. Hands-free, one button on, one button off. Gives me water, kind of peeking inside the cup to see what's going on there. And then I'm going to transfer this water into a kettle to then put on top of the stove. A little bit extra to compensate for boil off. That there, and another little mod in the van. I have taken this string, placed it there, take my little lantern light, click it onto this carabiner, and power this up. So I've now got a little light to work inside of this cabinet area, which isn't really needed right now, but I just figured I'd share it with you guys. I will be doing an updated video on the van and some of the upgrades that I've done, plus a lot of upgrades that I'm going to be doing. I've got some new products that have to go in here, as well as a couple other things in this shot right now that you guys can actually see. They're very, very subtle. Let me know if you pick them out. They're very, very subtle. There's 2 on camera right now that have been permanently installed. Let me know if you spot them. If you do spot them, who knows? We might be doing a giveaway soon. I mentioned last, I think 2 or 3 videos ago on my other channel, Outdoor Adventures, that I was going to be doing a $5,000 value giveaway. Huge camping package. And I haven't really figured out how I'm going to be doing it yet, but what I did mention in that channel was watch the videos on both Lone Wolf 902 and Outdoor Adventures. Links are in the descriptions. And I'm going to basically do kind of like a trivia thing over the next few videos. I'm not going to announce when I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it out of the blue, drop it, and if you guys have been watching and following the videos, you'll be first in line to punch back with an answer to what I'm going to ask, and then I'll decide a winner. So, I've got the titanium kettle here. Let's get out the stove, get everything rigged up, boil up a coffee. Alright guys, while I'm getting stuff ready for coffee, I happen to look at Boomer. He was outside of the van for like a minute. He ran over to the grass to go pee. There's a tick on his head already. So, what I've been doing, very carefully, has been taking my knife and going in on him just like that, pulling the tick out. So I've got the tick on my blade right now. He hates it because it does pull out a couple pieces of hair, but I got to it really, really quickly. They go for his face. Like, they go for his eyes, his beard, his chin. So I'm going to have to check him over really, really well. But this little guy, I'm going to dispatch of him. But that's one thing that I've been battling this summer with Boomer is ticks. Just crazy. So I'm going to have to give him a really good look over. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Super easy. Just take the knife blade, pop it off. He's out of there. I'm going to take care of him and we'll get back to the coffee. Alright, now that we've dealt with that tick, for the stove I'm going to be using, I found this at Canadian Tire. These, I think I paid like $25 for this. Really, really cheap. For the same stove on Amazon, the price was almost triple, which was ridiculous. But there's all kinds of these. This one is from Outbound. It is a canister stove that holds a butane canister. So I want to get this out of the case, get it set up. And this will be a little bit of a bonus so you guys will see how this works and how everything kind of works together. So get this out of the case and get it set up on the other side. And that way I can open up the window and vent out some of this butane gas. But it's very simple. The side opens like that. It does have a safety mechanism where you cannot store this upside down if there's a canister inside, because it does have to lock with this switch, which then enables that to go in. So you can't actually pack it away with the butane loaded, as it may leak when you're driving. So there's a little safety mechanism there to help you remember. So grill up there, canister simply goes in, and it doesn't load in until you lock it. And then when you turn the knob all the way, it has an igniter in there. Very, very hot. So get this on the other side of the van, crack the window, and get the pot and start boiling up some water. Alright, so now that we've got the kettle on the stove, I'm going to get some of this coffee out. So basically, we've got our cup. We put the filter holder on top, like that. Inside of this filter, there is a gradation mark to show a gentle line of where coffee should go. I say that with emphasis because it depends how strong you want your coffee to be. I'm going to fill it up to that gradation line. I've made coffee in this one time, but it was regular coffee with no flavor, so I'm interested to see what kind of flavor will generate. Okay, so I've gone ahead and poured the water out of the kettle. Took a minute to boil up, but it's boiled. Everything went through. We have a puck of coffee grinds in there, and basically our cup is full. So very, very simple pour over method. The benefit with this particular system is the lid can actually be flipped over upside down and placed on top while it's brewing. So if you pour your water in there, it's doing its thing. You don't want dust or debris or bugs getting in there. You can do that. You can also take off the filter. So once this is totally brewed, the lid works as an actual lid. Here in the camper van, what I like to do is set it down as a drip tray. And then I've got my cup of coffee there. Everything's done. I can clean that out. All I need to do is literally bang it out outside, run some water through it, and it's totally clean. Very, very simple. All right, so now that the coffee is brewed, I'm gonna add 2 creamers to this, and then I'm gonna show you the flexibility with this system, the reason why I chose to buy the whole kit and not just the filter system. One reason, everything fits inside of the cup very nicely. Let that cool down. Everything works together or separately. Also, reach in here and grab 2 different sized titanium cups. It will fit on other cookware. So here I have, I believe this is a 350 or 400 milliliter titanium cup. So if I take the filter and the holder, it doesn't fit on there as cleanly because it's a smaller diameter, but it still works to brew. And here I have, I think this is a 450 or 420 titanium cup. That fits on there perfectly fine. We can brew like that. Now that the coffee's made, I'm going to pour some water through here just to show you guys the flow rate after these grounds have been sitting in here for a while. So this is when it would be at like its worst, when it should be clogged up with the competitor screens. I found this to actually go through not fast, where it's going to give you a weak extraction, and not crazy slow where you're waiting like 10 minutes for a coffee. It goes through at about the speed of a home perk, honestly. So this has already been perked through. So you guys can see the flow right there. Not bad. Not bad at all. That flows through nicely. This is already brewed, this entire cup, which is why I'm showing you this afterwards. It's not clogged with coffee sludge. Now, if I was to use espresso grinds, it would clog it up a little bit. It would work, but no one's going to perk espresso. At least I hope you're not. I hope you're doing your espresso in like a mocha pot, or, you know, an espresso maker or a mocha pot. It'd be a little silly to do a pour over, in my opinion, with espresso ground. But that shows you right there the simplicity of how this system works. To clean this out, all I do is flick the grounds outside. They're organic, or in a garbage or a compost, and then just run water through the screen upside down. And you guys can see dripping through there. Give it a little tap, agitate it a little bit. This is after I've already made a whole coffee, so still working like a champ actually after all that. So that's the reason why I went with the whole system itself, to come with the lid as it goes on the cup. Now I can keep my coffee warm or keep the bugs and debris out of it. I can use the lid as a drip tray like I already mentioned, pop that on top of there, or I can use the lid, flip it upside down on top of the mesh, and basically keep all the debris out while it's brewing. So let's taste this Snickers coffee. Perfect. Ooh, that's good. Really hard flavor of Snickers, actually. So that's a little on the strong side. The finished pour after my sip is exactly in between the 500 and the 250 line. I accounted for a little bit of boil off in the kettle, pouring it through there, a little bit of loss getting stuck here, saturated in the beans. We're right where I needed to be. So Snickers coffee, 2 tablespoons, 2 individual, these little creamers. Perfect, guys. So that is the Valtcan titanium coffee perk system. I think it's a really great value, $84 for titanium cup. It comes with this really durable bag, which can be waxed, and you can use this for other gear if you like. But it does come with the carry bag, the filter holder, the lid, and this awesome cup with a little bit of a pour spout. These handles are great too because they don't mesh together, just the way that they're bent. And the reason why I like that is because normal cups, these handles click together, which makes it really difficult to hold because the handle's always digging in on your bottom finger. No matter how you hold this, I mean, nobody adult can get 4 fingers through there. It just doesn't work. So you're always left with 1 finger out. Even if you do the 2-finger thing, you're still mashing your fingers into that. It's really uncomfortable, and they move around a lot. Not a big deal. Obviously, we live with it, but this cup, they cannot go together the way it's bent, and I can actually get all of my fingers through there, which means I'm not hurting my fingers ramming it in there. I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you're out in the wintertime where your hands are cold and you're grabbing on your cup and it's mashing in your fingers, it's really uncomfortable. So I actually really like this design a lot, which is why I went with the cup. So a little bit of a sneak peek of the butane stove, all my kind of camping cook stuff that I like to use in the van and hiking. On this episode, I wanted to share with you guys not only this, but the meld of hiking and overlanding gear together to kind of use everything. Instead of buying a van life kettle, I've got a titanium kettle that I use in my van, and when I'm out overlanding in a truck or Jeep, and when I'm hiking. So it's great that I just kind of use everything wherever I am and just kind of mix everything. And like I said, there are a few upgrades in the van that I did. If you guys spot them, let me know in the comments section. I'd be interested if you did. If you guys have not checked out the other channel, it is Outdoor Adventures. The link is down below in the description, and I'll try and put it as a pinned comment if I remember. I believe it's titled Other Camping Channel. Just click that link, it'll bump you over to Outdoor Adventures, where there's all kinds of content over there. And until next time, peace out, guys. Valtcan coffee system. Let me know what you think in the comments. I got to go film another video for the other channel. So peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.